What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy John 25, and today I'm going to do my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So you guys know, hit that like button, hit that red button. Let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show. But anyway, we're kicking things off with Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus the Lucha Bros. This match was good. This match was fantastic. We're going to kick off this match with Kenny and Ray Finch. The fans are split down the middle. Kenny takes a risk, but Ray flips out and only he can. Omega counters an Irish whip and chops Finch. Kenny catches Finch in a Hurricanrana attempt and tries for the one wing angel, but Finch avoids it. Kenny follows up with a Karu Crusher again. Kenny looks for the one winged angel, but Finch gets out and leaves to tag Pentagon Jr. Hangman tags in as well and comes face to face with Pentagon. With the fans split chanting for both, Pentagon takes off the gloves and throws it. Does the zero fear taunt slower than ever. Then shoves Hangman. Page takes off the invisible glove and then shots Cowboy you know what and shoves him back. Pentagon chops the chest of Page. They fire back and forth until Page forearms him. Whips from Page, but Pentagon delivers a swift kick. Page retaliates with a big kick of his own and attacks Omega. Omega chops Pentagon, then Page swings for a chop, but Junior ducks it. He does the no fear taunt again and gets chopped by both Kenny and Page. Finch runs in but gets dropped by Omega and Page, who then high fives each other. Pentagon puts Omega against the ropes and chops him, then does the no fear yet again. Omega catches Pentagon with a Hurricanrana and sends him from the ring, top over the ropes onto the Lucha Bros by Kenny, who then runs up the ramp and posts. Alright, back in the ring, Page tags in and forearm Pentagon, who grabs him for the double underhook pile driver, but Page escapes. Page is sent to the apron and held by Finch as Pentagon super kicks him. Page put back in the ring and hit with a face breaker / double stump combo for a near fall. Thanks to Omega making the save. Pentagon hits a lariat to Page in the corner, but Adam bounces right back out with a lariat of his own. Omega tags in and takes out Pentagon with a flying crossbody, then drops Finch with a few axe handles. Omega gets Pentagon on his shoulders for a rolling fireman's carry. Then looks for a springboard moonsault, but eats the knees. Finch puts Page from the apron, and then it says Finch pulls Page from the apron and then gets in the ring to double team Omega. They get Kenny from the ring and hit a suicide dive, followed by a double stump in the ring by Pentagon for a near fall. The screen frizzled for a second, and we saw someone wearing a mask, possible Dark Order. Finch tags back in and kicks Kenny in the chest. Then hits a pump kick. Finch looks for a Hurricanrana, but Omega counters with a powerbomb and running knee. Finch tags in and prevents Kenny from making a tag and isolates him in the corner. Omega makes a tag to Page, who forearms Pentagon on the apron and boots Ray Finch. Follow a slam to Finch, then hits both men with repeated suicide dives. Page gets Pentagon and Finch in opposite corners and hits both with running forearms. Page drops Ray Finch and hits a drop saw off of Pentagon for a near fall. Hangman gets kicked by Finch, then hit a with a step up spin kick, followed by a rolling facebuster for a near fall. Pentagon tags in and they hit a series of kicks, followed by a wheelbarrow splash for a near fall. Pentagon takes the top rope, but Page grabs him for a follow-away slam, and Omega tags in. Kenny hits a back elbow to Pentagon, then throws finishing to Pentagon in the corner. Finch looks for a rolling hurricanrana, but Kenny powerbombs him into Pentagon. Page catches Finch with a discussed elbow as well as a spine buster, and Omega hits a Pentagon with a sit-out spine buster for a near fall. Page pump kicks Finch, then Kenny hits a snapdragon suplex to Finch. Some discombobulations followed by Hangman accidentally hitting Omega with a buckshot lariat. Page is super kicked from the ring, then the Lucha hit the package pile driver / double stump for the win. The winners of the match, the Lucha Bros. Alright, after the match, Page and Kenny argue in the ring about who fault that was. Page gets in Kenny's face and Omega shoves him. The camera cuts backstage to Pac, who addressed Kenny Omega and says he's still waiting for an answer to his challenge. He says it's time to remind Kenny who he is and what he's capable of. Pac walks off and finds Michael Nakazawa in the locker room. Nakazawa is sitting in a chair with his back turned, and Pac shoots the camera and walks off. Omega runs through the crowd to the back to find his friend. Commercial break. As usual, AEW does most of its actual storytelling in silent split screen during commercials. Kenny runs into the locker room and Nakazawa is gone. He's then attacked by the Lucha Bros and Hangman Adam Page runs them off. Darby Allin and Cody versus the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny. This match was good, but why would you want to make the Butcher and the Blade lose this match? You got to build up the Butcher and the Blade. You got to build them up. But this match was good anyway. Alright, this match, I'm sorry. The match gets underway with the Butcher and Darby Allin, and the big man throws Allin around like a child, but by the neck. The Blade tags in exchange reversals with Allin, who ducks him and drop kicks the Butcher from the apron. Allin hits the Blade with a springboard arm drag and sends him from the ring. Sorry about that, guys. Cody tags in, and so does the Butcher. Cody takes a leg and gets forearm in the back of his effort. The Butcher turns Cody inside out with a clothesline. He slams Cody into the corner and tags the Blade, who chops him hard. Cody catches the Blade with a snap power slam. The Butcher tags in and kicks Cody in the head, preventing a tag. Cody is tossed from the ring, then back inside. The Butcher leg drops Cody from a 2 count. Back to commercial break. Back live, and Cody is brawling with the Blade on the outside. They get back in the ring, and the Butcher tags in and beats Cody down. He whips Cody to the corner, then looks for a splash, but Rhodes dodges it. The Blade tags in, and Cody throws him out. The Blade comes back and hits a crossbody at the same time as Cody. Darby Allin tags in and dives over the Blade to forearm the Butcher on the apron. Allin hits a sunset flip pin, but the Butcher blind tags and throws him off. The Butcher knocks Cody from the apron and then applies the cloverleaf to Allin. Cody comes in and kicks the Butcher twice, but he doesn't release the cloverleaf. The Blade pulls Cody from the ring, and the Butcher lifts Darby Allin into a powerbomb. By the bar lands on his feet. Alright. Darby Allin catches the Butcher with a stunner and tags Cody, who hits the crossroads. The bunny gets on the apron to prevent the referee from counting. The Blade tags in, but Cody throws him to the floor. Cody and Darby hit stereo suicide dives. They get back in the ring, and Cody hits the Butcher with the disaster kick, and he lands on the apron where Darby Allin hits a coffin drop. Cody then hits the Blade with the Cody Cutter and scores the pinfall. The winner of the match, Cody and Darby Allin. This match was good. So much for the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny push. We get a video package of the Jungle Boy training to fight Jericho in an identical to the one form Omega versus Jericho. He's wearing the Attitude Mask, doing push-ups with a medical ball. Machine ball. I said medical ball. I apologize for saying medical ball. With a machine ball, runs up hills. Jungle Boy versus Jericho is later tonight. Commercial break. Awesome Kong with Brandy Rhodes versus Marina Els. This match was decent. This was a decent match, but quick. Miranda attacks Kong right away, but gets dropped with a spinning back fist. Kong hits a double underhook facebuster for the win. The winner of the match, Awesome Kong. This match was decent and quick at the same time. But let me continue. After the match, Kong and Brady cut some hair from Els and takes it as their trophy. Let me move on. Alright, let me move on. We see a sit down interview from earlier today with Jungle Boy. Jim Ross. Jungle Boy says he thinks of Jericho as two people, the man and the legend. He says the man doesn't scare him, but he respects the legend. Jungle Boy says he knows of the pressure of the situation, and pressure makes star. Ross asks how Jungle Boy's father, Luke Perry, will feel about all this. Jungle Boy says he thinks he would be proud. They used to sit and talk about the possibilities, and for him to be here, facing Chris Jericho, talking to Jim Ross, he thinks he would be proud. Jericho makes his entrance alongside Jack Hager. He will be facing Jungle Boy within 10 minutes. Time limit next. Commercial break. Alright. We see Chris Jericho with Jack Hager versus Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. This match was good. The match gets underway and Jungle Boy looks for a roll-up, but Jericho kicks out. Jungle Boy catches Jericho with the incredible springboard arm drag. Jericho looks to apply Lion Tamer, but Jungle Boy rolls him up for a near fall. Jericho drops Jungle Boy on the top rope, then puts him in a corner and chops him. Y2J drops Jungle Boy with a forearm, then whips him to the corner and hits a code breaker. Jericho doesn't pin him through. He waits for Jungle Boy to get back up and hits a second code breaker. Y2J pins but lifts his shoulders. Okay. Jericho throws Jungle Boy from the ring. Hager throws him into the barricade. Luchasaurus runs around the ring and starts brawling with Hager. Stunt jumps off the apron at Hager, but gets clocked with a forearm, and he gets out cold. Aubrey Edwards ejects Hager, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt from ringside. Jericho puts Jungle Boy back in the ring and gets caught with an inside cradle for a near fall. Jericho kicks the back of Jungle Boy and chops him. Jungle Boy is sent to the apron and Jericho jumps at him, but nobody's home. Jungle Boy hits 3 suicide dives to Jericho, and there is less than 5 minutes left. Jericho gets caught with a DDT, but but kicks out. Jungle Boy counters Jericho and hits a backstabber for a 2 count. Jungle Boy hits the ropes but gets caught with a back elbow. Jungle Boy countered Jericho and hits a lion saw for a near fall. Jericho catches Jungle Boy with a clothesline that turns him inside out. Jericho lifts Jungle Boy and chops him hard. Then catapults him into the bottom rope. Lee Champion chokes Jungle Boy with his boot and taunts the fans. Jericho has a punch block, then gets clocked with a few punches. Powerbomb from Jericho, and he turns into a lion tamer with about a minute left on the clock. Jungle Boy reached for the top rope and slowly crossed to the ropes, but Jericho drags him back in the center of the ring and sits down deep. 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left, 10 seconds left, and Jungle Boy holds out. Time limit draw. It says time limit draw. Jericho thinks he won until RB tells him what happened. Jericho grabs a microphone and yells that he wants more 5 minutes. He then beats Jungle Boy around and throws him over the ropes, but Jungle Boy holds on. He comes back into the ring and hits Jungle Boy with a Hurricanrana and Eris counts, but Jericho kicks out. Jericho then takes his belt and leaves. So a draw, I guess. That was a dumb ending. It was a dumb ending. Commercial break. We return to see Jericho on the stage with Tony Schiavone, who asks Y2J if he's disappointed. Jericho says he isn't because he told everyone Jungle Boy can beat him and he didn't. Tony says that is not what Jericho said, and they argue. Jericho then grabs the mic and turns his attention to Moxley. He tells Moxley to enjoy Christmas, but the Inner Circle will have a surprise for him on January 1st. Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker. This match was fantastic. But anyway, this number one contenders match gets underway, and Statlander and the alien gets Baker in a wrist lock. Baker reverses it, but Statlander cartwheels out of it. The Doc goes for the jawbreaker submission, but Statlander blocks it and goes for a clothesline. But Baker ducks it. Statlander leapfrogs Baker, who goes for the lockjaw again. Whoever Statlander blocks it rolls her up for a near fall. Baker comes back with a snap mirror and then a roll up for a near fall. Baker hits a Northern Light suplex, but Statlander responds with a drop kick. Statlander goes for an axe kick, but Baker moves and hits Hangman's neck breaker. Statlander applies a submission as we head to the break. Commercial break. We return from the break and Chris eats a running knee from Baker in the corner. Baker then managed to get her down and start applying lockjaw, but once again Statlander fights it off and gets the ropes. Statlander tangles Britt's arm up in the ropes and then nails her with a running knee. Statlander climbs up to the top and hits a missile dropkick for a near fall. Alright, Statlander goes for a roundhouse kick, but Baker rolls her up for a series of near falls. Statlander looks for a forearms carrier, but Baker blocks it and hits a sling blade for a near fall. Baker goes for a suplex, but Statlander blocks it and hits a lariat. Statlander climbs up top, but Britt meets her up there and hits a superplex. Baker gets to her feet and blocks for a normal suplex, but Statlander counters into the Mochuko driver for a near fall. Chris and Baker exchange strikes until Britt lands a fisherman neck breaker. Baker looks looks to follow up with a super kick, but Chris blocks it and hits a roundhouse kick. Statlander hits the ropes but runs into a super kick from Baker, who finally manages to apply the lockjaw. Statlander powers up to her feet and transitions Baker and hits the Big Bang Theory for the win. The winner of the match, Chris Statlander. This match was fantastic. I don't care what nobody say. After the match, Tony Schiavone interviews Chris Statlander and says she is now the number one contender. She responded by touching his nose. Brandy Rose comes out and tells Schiavone to take a hike. She congratulates Statlander and then asks her again if she will join the Nightmare Collective. Statlander waves her finger to say no, and then Khan comes out with Malene Cruz, the girl from last week. Brandy then hits Chris with her high heel shoe. All this just bad stuff. I mean, you can have these three cut in one show, and this is easily the worst. But Blanchard is backstage with Shawn Spears, who says he is looking for one lucky AEW star to be his partner. He says AEW actually cares about the tag teams and there's money in it. Truly says they need the right guy, someone who is on Spears' level and he chemistry with him. He says Spears needs his own arm. Anderson Spears agrees and they walk off to look for him. Back to commercial break. AEW Tag Team Championship match. The so-called Uncensored versus the Young Bucks. This match was good. The main event gets underway with Frankie Kazarian and Nick. I'm sorry about that. Let me start over. The main event gets underway with Frankie Kazarian and Nick Jackson. A few reversals and Scorpio tags in, but Nick throws him from the ring and tags Matt Jackson. Sends Kazarian to the outside and goes back and forth with Scorpio until all four men are in the ring. But the Young Bucks drop both Sky and Kazarian with a double team drop kick. Matt super kicks Sky from the apron, and then they team to hit Kazarian with a cannonball / combo kick. Kazarian counters Matt allowing Sky to hurricanrana Nick from the apron to the floor. Kazarian slams Matt and tags Scorpio. Nick returns and takes out both Kazarian and Sky with a kick / bulldog combo. Nick looks for a springboard, but Scorpio blocks it and climbs up the ropes with him, only for Nick to hit a hurricanrana. Matt tags in again and hits a Marco Man elbow for a 2 count. Nick tags in and they look for a super kick. Party, but Kazarian pulls Sky from the ring. Nick hits a spinning dive from the top rope, but to both of them on the floor. Commercial break. Back live, and both Kazarian and Nick gets tagged. Kazarian hits a poetry in motion off of Matt Jackson to Nick, then drops Matt with a heel kick. The Bucks look to double team Kazarian, but he drops both with clotheslines and they roll from the ring. Kazarian jumps over the ropes and catches Matt with a hurricanrana. Scorpio follows up with a dive onto both Bucks at ringside. Sky and Frankie puts Matt back in the ring and hits a double team DDT for a near fall. Scorpio looks for the TKO, but Matt counters and hits a spear. Matt tags Nick, who knocks Kazarian from the apron and springboards at Sky, but gets caught with a cutter dragon sleeper from Sky, while Kazarian hits Matt with a cutter. and a dragon sleeper of his own. Matt lifts Kazarian and slams him into the other two to break the submission. Kazarian and Matt are the legal men, and they teed off on each other. Frankie beats Matt down with forearms and Sky blind tags, and Kazarian drops Matt and then hits Nick with a snap DDT on the apron. Matt rolls up Sky for a near fall. Then Sky hits the TKO. Kazarian gets tagged, and they hit the SCU later for the win. The winner of the match, the so-called uncensored. After the match, creepers from the Dark Order comes through the crowd and surround the ring. The lights go out, and out comes Order. Evil Uno congratulates the SCU, but says the Young Bucks have suffered a hard loss. Any other night, they will ask them to join Dark Order, but tonight it's not about recruitment; it's about initiation. The Creepers storm the ring, including Axel, Reynolds, and John Silver, and beats the SCU. And then and the Young Bucks and Christopher Daniels runs down to make the save, but he gets pounded too. Omega runs out and he tries to help, but gets overwhelmed. Cody and Dustin Rhodes comes out and they join the fight, but gets beaten down. The commentators mention that Hangman Page isn't come to help. The Dark Order throws everyone but the Young Bucks from the ring. Uno gives the mask to Silver and Reynolds. He says he promised this was an initiation. They pull the mask on the Uno. They pull the mask on, and Uno pulls his hand inside Matt Jackson's mouth for some reason. That was just disgusting at the end. And that's it for AEW Dynamite. We'll see you on January 1st for the next Dynamite. But we will have lots more news and results before then. So stay tuned to Ringside News. Safe travels. AEW was a good show. I ain't gonna lie, AEW was a good show. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of storytelling, all that stuff, man. But you made the Butcher and the Blade lose to Cody. You made the Butcher and the Blade lose to Cody and what's his name? I just said it earlier. Let me go back. But this was a good AEW show. This was a good show. I ain't gonna lie. I had lots of fun watching AEW Dynamite last night. You know what I'm saying? I had lots of fun watching this match. So like I said, you gotta build the Butcher and the Blade up. You gotta build them up. So the Butcher and the Blade lose to Darby Allin and Cody, and Cody. So I really enjoyed this match, watching Darby Allin and Cody versus the Butcher and the Blade. That was an awesome tag team match. But why would you make the Butcher and the Blade lose last night? You gotta, like I said earlier, you gotta build up. You gotta build the Butcher and the Blade to get a push. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, drop a like on this video. Comment down below what you guys think of AEW Dynamite. Share the video all over social media. My Twitter and Instagram will be linked inside the description box down below. And that's all, guys. That's all I have to say that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, I'm getting up out of here, and I'm gonna enjoy my holiday, man, with my family. That's all I got something to say. But anyway, this your boy B-Boy John 25, KFG family, KFG production. Shouts to everybody, and I will talk to you guys later. Happy holidays to everybody from B-Boy Johnny 25 and the KFG family.